You're up, guys. Go ahead and start talking. I'm turning off.
Good afternoon, Hamilton County. We're here at the Noblesville Rugby High School for Noblesville Girls High School Girls Rugby against Westfield Rugby. I am Colin Southern.
Hi, I am Chuck Pollard, and we are excited for a soggy night of rugby. The ladies are lined up on the pitch, and we are getting ready to get started. If you've not watched rugby before, we're going to try to teach you a little bit as we go through the game and answer questions and try to make sense of a little bit of the organized chaos that we might see on the pitch this evening. Right now we have the referee coming out. He's giving instructions to both teams, making sure that everybody is ready before we start our kickoff.
Before we kick off, we do want to thank our sponsors, Hamilton County Television, Logan Street Signs and Banners, and Noblesville Trophies.
Yes, and we can find both of those online at noblesvilletrophies.com and streetsigns.com. They've been a Noblesville institution for some time and can take care of all your signs and trophy needs. And we are kicking off. Now, when we kick off in rugby, it must go 10, which it has, and so they are clear to go. One of the interesting things about rugby is came from soccer, it derived from soccer, and then American football derived from rugby. It is correct me if I'm wrong, Colin, is it not the only contact sport where the rules are exactly the same for girls and boys?
That is correct.
So we play on the same size pit, all same everything, same rules.
Here, the first ruck was unsuccessful. There was a knock-on, which means the ball was knocked forward in the tackle, and we will restart with a scrum. 8 players from each side come together in the scrum half. The number 9 will put the ball in from the center, and they will hook the ball with their foot back to the back of the scrum and run forward. In rugby, you cannot pass forward. You can only run the ball forward or kick it forward.
All right, and it looks like Westfield run the scrum, and the ball is out. Oh, now they're starting to move their lines. Right. Oh, and they have developed an overload where they have more players on one side than the other, and it's like number 19 is going. She was stopped just before the try. Let's look for the referee signal. And they got the ball out, and Westfield has scored. In first try of the game was scored by, it was number 21. Where's my list? Sorry. Was Kaylee? Was that Kaylee? That scored that? Kaylee Payno scored that. Kaylee's been playing rugby for a long time and is a great player.
The try is worth 5 points in rugby.
And now we're going to try the conversion kick, which will be 2 points. With rugby, it's a little bit different than other sports where we must kick from a straight line out from where the ball was touched when they scored. So Kaylee's going to have to try to make this kick from the far corner. Certainly not an easy kick. Another interesting thing in rugby is our culture is such that we do not taunt or yell or try to distract the kickers from the crowds. We keep it quiet. At most, the 2 players can charge them. The kick was no good, so it is 5 Westfield, 0 Noblesville.
We'll restart with another kickoff.
So, Colin, what do you think Noblesville needs to do better to prevent that from happening again?
Well, on that last ruck there, they failed to protect the outside, and it was just a simple overload that Westfield was able to capitalize on.
And that looks like a knock-on.
We have a knock-on.
Yep. When she failed to catch the ball and it bounced forward, that is a knock-on. It is a penalty, and we're going to scrum down again. must get back 10 meters before they can re-engage. Get with her!
Referee says that ref is fine. The ref is fine.
The referee is calling a penalty. Lots of good muddy action here. Westfield's really contesting those ups. It looks like they have stolen the ball. That's a great run by Becca Gleason. She has just passed it off to Gary. I'm sorry, my sheet's got water all over it, so I'm having a tough time reading some of the names. So if you're watching at home and I mangle a name, I apologize. I didn't consider the rain when I created the dust.
Get it out, Dos! Go, Mary! Yeah!
And another try. By Westfield. Did not see who scored.
Go United!
Water, go!
Yeah, Payno's kicking. You don't need to take it.
I know. Payno kicks, you don't need to. She hates it. I've never seen Payno.
Hey, Becca! Beautiful!
So we'll see another attempt to
Hey,
kick.
Megan, talk about
That's
pulse
a
load off the
jinx.
ground. They were coming
But like,
ready to
Clear try.
pulse load off the team. Pull them together.
Looks like Kaylee Payno's going to try to kick again. And it went a little wide right.
I should have run to it. I should have run to it.
In rugby, when they do the kick to conversion, they can either kick from a tee or they can do what we call a drop kick, which is slightly different than a kick you may be used to, where the ball has to hit the ground and then bounce back up.
It's annoying. I've got 6 piercings and then a bar in my ear, so it's like, and it's
And then another interesting thing in rugby is when you score, you actually get the ball back. As opposed to other sports where the other team would then get possession, you maintain possession after the score. Ball's on 10, it was a clean kick. Ball walking over.
oh God, ball.
Keep pushing!
And you'll notice as they're driving the ball, the defending team, now it would be Noblesville, tries their best to stay within a straight line in order to prevent them from breaking through the ranks.
Hey, Megan, up! Hey, Mary.
So we are scrumming down again. It is Noblesville's put. The ball is in. It looks like, oh, the scrum collapsed. And for safety reasons, the referee is going to reset that. Give it another opportunity to scrum the ball out.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Now,
Phone is at 1%. See this goes.
So we've gone back in the scrum. Nobles was going to place the ball into the scrum. And it looks like Westfield's got the ball out of the scrum. Came out the side.
Like, he is ridiculous. Like, and he looks like a nerd.
So it would appear both teams are having a little bit of a challenge in getting this scrum off successfully.
Kenneth, they go to Illinois State.
Hey, the Perry mic, people are watching at home saying, and it can't be here. Or it,
They can't hear me.
they can't, yeah.
I go by mad.
So we're going to scrum
Perry's
back in.
did.
The headband on.
It's back on now, though.
And the ball is in. Again, we're having a tough time getting the ball in. I'm not sure if it's the conditions.
So
I'm not
both
sure if it's
audios
the
went down?
conditions, but we are having a bit of a challenge getting this from. Let's see if there's a spot.
I wasn't trying.
We're going to try this again. Within rugby, we do focus first and foremost on safety.
Okay.
And because the scrum can be one of the more challenging areas for safety, we take it very seriously. And if they see anything's wrong, or if they see that's going to spin or collapse, the referee's going to stop that.
All right, Chuck. So it looks like we're having some technical difficulties. So I am back up on. We're sharing microphones at this point. There's a clearing kick by Westfield, and recovered by Noblesville. There was a knock on there by Noblesville. And they attempt to tackle. So we have a knock on. We will restart with another scrum to Westfield, just outside the 40.
You know, Colin, I really feel like the conditions are causing a lot of difficulties and challenges for the players tonight to get the ball moving. Rugby's a very free-flowing game, and tonight's not flowing very freely. It seems to be a lot of stoppages.
Absolutely. I think the weather conditions are having issues with what the coaches would always yell hands. And the inability to trip the ball. Looks like it was an unsafe scrum, so they're going to reset.
Now, have the teams played yet, or is this their first game of the season or their second?
I believe this is their second, maybe even third game of the season. With the 2-week spring break that Noblesville switched to,
yes, sir.
That makes a little bit of an adjustment to the rugby schedule. I believe generally we try to start the second week of March.
They're on.
And then we finish
the blocks are on.
There on Labor Day weekend.
Now, is the state tournament going to be held in Fishers this year or in Elkhart?
Okay.
Or will it be? Well, actually, we have a valuable guest here. We have the director of Rugby Indiana. Wait, gotcha.
With a breakaway run, good 40-meter try. Not confirmed.
And whenever I feel like I pretty much.
That was an exciting try scored by Megan. Megan's been a star of girls rugby for a number of years here. A wonderful player, puts in a lot of work, dedication to the sport.
What? Good job, Mary. Because I don't do it like that. No, I do it right.
As is also the kicker, Kaylee. She's been playing for a long time. And that kick, it made it! Nice kick, tough conditions.
Nice shot, Kaylee!
It was enough to get there, it was close, but that was a great kick. Well, Colin, where does that put our score?
I have to confirm if they made the second conversion.
This is the only conversion that they've made.
So that is 3 tries and 1 conversion. So that would be 17-0. Westfield ahead.
17-0 Westfield.
And I've got 14 minutes of elapsed approximately. Of course, the official time is kept by the referee, as we call in rugby the serve. First one went
position, we had a knock on. In rugby, though, we do have time periods. It's very easy for the time to go beyond the set time frames due to injuries or continuous play, because if the ball is still live at the end of the time running out, it will continue until
dead ball. Interesting fact about rugby is the half cannot end on a penalty. So, we'll watch the reset of this scrum. Put in is by Noblesville. A-man pick.
Nice.
A good break and tackle. The ruck is formed. The ruck sets the offside line in rugby. Noblesville was able to cycle the ball.
Alyssa, you've got to dig, girl.
Another cycle out. Looks like we might be in the corner. Noblesville continuing to drive towards that try line. Knock it forward. The ref has seen it. This year we got advantage on. Westfield counter. Very good one.
Looking for support. He's looking for support. He doesn't need it.
Beyond the dish. She's looking for better position.
I've been really impressed, Colin, with the communication and aggressiveness of Westfield team. They have done a great job on the rucks and working together as they move the ball. It's a really good play. She is catching her breath, so she might not take this kick. She's taking the rest of them. So Megan's going to go for the kick. She's going to back kick. Did not make it. Went a little to the left. Colin, what does that put our score at?
That would be 22-0. And we'll be setting up for the restart. Kickoff again by Noblesville.
Go, Sam. Sam. Second center. Ref.
We're getting reset.
Ladies, you were right there. You were right there. Let's go. Good kick, Sammy.
Must be a drop.
Good service.
The kick that was not a drop kick. They actually ended up as a punt, although it left the distance of a drop kick. So they have the option for a scrum or a re-kick, and it looks like Westfield has opted for the re-kick.
Nice play, ladies!
Again. And beginner again.
Let's go. You got this. On the ground.
One thing I've noticed this evening is how good and consistent the serve has been, and that upsets me because complaining about the serve is one of my favorite things to do.
Although it never does you any good, does it, Chuck?
It does
about
not.
Officiating.
No.
There we go. That one is 110. Little play.
If I decided not to play, I would have played.
Cycle passes. They're being tackled. Recycling the ball well. Breaks in the holes there.
So, Colin, what's a little bit of the strategy you think they're employing here?
Well, with the weather conditions, I think they're trying to minimize the amount of passing that they actually have to make today.
Sticking to short pop passes and
They'll continue to probably drive right there off the edge of the rock, try to exploit the defense on a missed tackle. Whistle here. The knock on the spot. White knock it on.
how are you? Beautiful day for rugby. If you don't believe me, ask Mark. He'll tell you. Beautiful day for rugby.
Monica, you got support. Go.
Reset with the scrum again. Be interested in to see if Noblesville goes with a back kick again, as they did last time and had very good success on that drive. They do. The ruck has been changed. Ball came out to Westfield, but Noblesville was able to steal it right back.
posts her right out. Support there. Here we have an
Hey, Barry!
In the rain anyway.
Barry! It's just better to go down to this quick like that, alright? That was important.
Now, Colin, can you share with us a little bit about the tackling technique that we're seeing and why they are approaching it maybe different than tackles that you would see in other sports?
Rugby generally, I'm not sure about the extra yard or inches. Rugby is not a game of inches. It's about game of possession of the ball. Usually, using the shoulder and try to not use the head. Look like that is a beautiful tackle right around the waist. Brought the Westfield player down. Let's see if they can take possession of this rough. Advantage was not gained, so they'll go back to the A scrum.
Abby, you need one step, kid. You need one step. Come on, Jenny.
It'll be put in by Noblesville.
And I got water like that.
Let's go, Jenny.
And I was just like, now I'm cold. Get that ball! Get that ball!
Winning that scrum, they're going to get that ball out. She's got it over. Pull that. They're trying to run the line wide. Westfield's coming in. They're throwing the ball a little high. I wish they'd get that down. It's even vulnerable to a strong tackle. Westfield just pokes the ball there. Back. Number 20, which is Greta Krause. Greta Krause, again, my document is wet, so I might get that wrong. Oh, we have a penalty.
Good forward penalty. I did not see what the ball was. There
we go.
Come on! Get with her! Nice tackle!
Like I said, I've been really impressed by how physical they are tonight.
Another penalty. This one was hands in the rough, so or hands on the bench, so they Westfield must have used hands in their off their feet or in the rough as well.
And if you've never watched it before, rugby is a game that's played on your feet. So in general, if you're not on your feet, you are out of the play, which means the ball should be released, or you shouldn't be putting your hands on the ground or on the ball in the rough. I'm babbling now.
Yeah!
We got two sides.
Nice. Nice.
That was a legal hit.
Way to go, Amy!
It looked hard. It was definitely below the shoulder blades. Rugby, a high
Westfield
tackle.
was just driving them. There we go.
A lot of penalties you see these days in
Way to go, girl!
or a high tackle or a tackle either front or ends above the level of the
Way to go, Leah!
Noblesville doing a nice job maintaining possession of the ball.
Very nice. And I've really been impressed how they've not been afraid to drive into contact.
The biggest thing right now is either concentrating on trying to catch the ball and maintain possession of the ball. They're kind of standing a little flat-footed, so it's typically seen.
Julietta, nice run there by Julietta to drive into contact.
Stay with her, stay with her.
This has been probably the strongest possession we've seen from Noblesville so far. They can find a break in Westfield's strong defense. She is a dominant force.
Yes! Come on, yeah, baby! Rock it!
Yeah, looks like Westfield got the ball back. Yes, she did.
Go, Greta! Take it! Come in! Come in!
Strong rucks by Westfield. Again, they're driving through the mud. He is
Oh, push it!
Becca Gleason driving. Uh-oh, it looks like we were able, Noblesville was able to recover the ball.
It was technically a forward pass, but Noblesville was able to catch it. But we will restart with a scrum to Noblesville inside down, right at down 5.
Now, do you think it would be a good strategy for them to maybe try and kick it if they get it out? Or in these conditions, would that not be the smartest move?
Well, given that
looks like Westfield does not have a fullback back right now. It might be an opportunity for a good box kick placement.
Let's hope we can do that.
I'm not sure how decent their kicker is in this weather with the hands.
If we said it really, really loud, do you think perhaps they would hear us?
I can only hope.
As impartial commentators, and they have tried to kick, rolled outside the foot, did not go the way we wanted it to. Megan's right there on the spot to get the ball.
Yeah, take it, Abby!
Abby and try for Westfield.
Way to go, girl!
And that was Abby Choi for the score. Nice job.
Just take it to us. Take it to Michaela!
They'll take it to 27-0 pending the outcome of the kick. The rain continues to be an issue here. Has not let off one bit since this game started. They're opting to kick from the tee this time. It is right on target, but a little short. We'll restart again with another kickoff. Score 27 Westfield, 0 Noblesville.
It's worth noting on this pitch, this pitch is used by not only the varsity girls team, but the varsity boys team and the middle school boys team, and they've all played this week, so with these weather conditions, it's a little sloppy over in the corners. Tough kicking conditions.
We do look out to have this field, though, as the Carmel fields this weekend were rained out because of too bad weather.
It's also worth noting that this year Noblesville is a club sport for the schools, so they've provided great support. Coming through, I can't pick it up. Stop commentary and talk about it.
This might be the first line that up the game.
Now, what happens in a lineup, Colin? What are we trying to accomplish here?
So, anytime the ball goes out of play from being out of bounds, we start with a lineup where we toss the ball and down the corner, generally about a meter and a half. And the jumper, so the person that lift it, they lift up and the receiver, so either hits the ball down the center tap it out, kick the back, and run. Decide to use this weapon. They're not able to get any advantage from it.
Come on, Macy.
Getting a little bit of coaching there from Bart retreating.
Hey, do it. Let's go.
People on this team know what they need to do to get reset.
Interesting thing about rugby is the coaches generally aren't walking the sidelines anymore as you used to see in the early 90s. They have instituted a technical time for the rugby, or the coach will stay between the 22 and the 30 minute side of the box. Now we came out the tunnel, so we'll reset this strap.
It really is interesting and unique to rugby from other sports when it comes to the coaching, in that when the players are on the pitch, it's basically their game at that point, and the coaches are going to, you won't see a lot of marching up and down the sides or yelling and running down the ends and coaching at the end.
Even more so that the captain of the team is the leader of the team and will do all the communication with the team in regards to any questions in regards to how they're following the game.
Do we know who the captains are tonight?
Young.
Get on it, nice!
Maybe Megan Haley.
Go, Haley!
We may be wrong as well, but we are no
He's just streaming of rugby matches.
Nice, Megan!
Megan uses a nice cycle and run again.
There you go, Megan's going again. Oh, nice offload.
But she has the support.
Push it, Haley!
Haley carrying.
Rocket, come on!
Haley Taylor. She's had a great performance this evening. Great, wonderful job. Now they might be calling up playing it on the ground. Oh, that is the halftime. We have halftime. That puts our score at 27. Westfield. Certainly appreciate everybody for watching us as we go into halftime. Take a few minutes break to enjoy the rain and the weather.
Definitely think the temperature is off. A good 10 to 15 degrees since we kicked off. Really feeling it out here, actually.
It is.
I think we need to prep a little bit better for our next match, Chuck. I think we'll be here. We'll be back here again home for Noblesville high school boys.
Yep, against Pendleton.
Next Wednesday.
With generous permission from Rugby Indiana, who owns the broadcast rights to this game. We've got permission. And we're bringing that up because the commissioner is standing right behind me.
It's a good time, though, Chuck. I'm sure our wives are back home or love listening to us comment. As if they don't hear us talk enough, but as it is. But at least we know we have 2 dedicated watchers out there. 3 if you include your son.
I don't know who else we have out there. We probably have pretty good. The kind of television is to get a lot of viewers. I watch them for lots of different sports, all the football games, and some of the other basketball when they do those as well.
So if we have any new viewers to rugby, just trying to figure out what it is and how this looks like organized chaos, I promise you it is organized chaos. There are rules. There are laws, actually, not rules. We call them laws in rugby. But we'll do our best to take any questions on the Facebook post and try to explain them in the next match.
So how long has Noblesville had a girls rugby team?
I believe the club was founded in 1999. I think Brent was part of that official start.
And originally called the Chaos. They are former state champions, I believe.
Yes, they did have quite a few, couple state championship runs where they were either state champions or runners-up. A couple of girls that went on to play All-American and international rugby.
Collegiate rugby. Lots of collegiate rugby.
Yes, some Penn State national championship players have been produced. More recent years, as these girls have went off and to their good successes, haven't had a chance to catch up with as many. But,
not a lot to talk about in the rain. It's going through. The coaches are just providing some guidance, trying to do some corrections.
What do you think the Westfield's going to try to capitalize on the mistakes that they've seen? Or corrections that Noblesville should be?
I think for Noblesville, what they'd want to focus on is being a little faster on the ball. It feels like maybe they're not quite confident on what their role is, and are occasionally a little slow to maybe pick it up when it's on the ground. I love their physicality tonight. I've loved their tackling, and I think they've done a great job of defense. The scores that they've gotten have really just been from overloads and not positioning. It's not been from bad tackling or anything like that. They've really played strong in that regards.
Absolutely impressed with the tackling tonight by both teams. It's been superb tackling, actually, given the weather conditions. And you're absolutely right, Chuck. The few scores that have been just by creating a little bit of an overload. And Noblesville's been able to maintain possession of the ball pretty well and get through several phases of play, actually, which is pretty impressive.
given that I think they had one that went at least 8 phases, which in high school rugby definitely does not go quite as well. For those of you watching, halftime is usually about 5 minutes, but we'll go when the servers are ready. Usually it's between 5 to 10 minutes. Give the players some rest, rehydrate.
The other thing I think we really want to look for in this next half, rugby is a flowing game. It is about movement and creating space. And I think one of the things that Noblesville should focus on is trying to get the ball out to some of their faster outside players who are trying to spend a lot of time driving it up the middle. And they're doing a good job of controlling it, but in these conditions with some of the sloppier passes, I know it's been hard to do that. If they can start moving the ball a little wide, they'll be able to hopefully get through Westfield and then also go anywhere that Megan is not.
Couldn't agree more with that. Megan is a phenomenal force on their squad and does very well. So as we restart the half, the teams will switch sides. The ref today is John. He's been around for rugby longer than me, actually, so that's at least 20 years. His regular day job, he is a teacher down at Arsenal Tech High School.
Girls, we're kicking!
You really were going to stuff to talk about. All right.
When we get ready for the kickoff, looks like they're a little confused there on because Westfield kicked to start the match. So
Brent, you can't blame them for trying.
Westfield will receive the second half. About 15 players are on each team. Kick nicely recovered by Westfield. Tackle, ruck is formed. Michael stays on side.
Noblesville is doing a good job on staying straight, staying in position when they go in. It's very easy for teams to get sucked in and want to go towards the action, and they've been very disciplined. I like seeing that.
Many improvements since the season and early on this season. They're always a troublesome match.
Yeah, now they're driving the ball. It looks like they're
still.
Nice, good.
Good.
Continue to attack that weak side. Going for the space, trying to create the space. See if they bring it back now to the strong side here. So carried it in. Maintain one. Ready to drive forward, but one must be produced.
It's two. Produce it.
Usually the ref will say use it. And here we have a failed haul. The ball was not produced. It was carried in by Noblesville.
So when you say not produced, you mean it was held up in the middle and they weren't able to move the ball out?
Correct. So what can happen in a mall is generally the intent of the defense is, besides not letting them drive down the entire length of the field, is to secure the ball carrier in the ball so that they cannot produce the ball, and therefore it stalls, and it will now be a scrum to Westfield.
There's a red blanket down there somewhere. That one.
Serge is assisting.
Looks like he's checking something on one of the players. Usually on this, it's either a brace, a safety check, looks like a wrist injury. Looks like time is back on. Score still remains 27-0. Westfield ahead. Westfield put in for the scrum. Just outside their own 22-meter line. Westfield with a nice drive.
They lost the scrum. It's out. Nice kick by Westfield.
Clearing kick. Noblesville scrum half picks it up. Tackle by Megan. And the ruck is instantly there, and Megan picks it up and goes. A very quick recovery. Noblesville able to get realigned on defense very well. And the Westfield's backs are already aligned for the attack.
He missed it.
May have been a missed knock on there.
It was definitely a missed knock on. He was
unfortunately with the sometimes fortunately.
Unfortunately for Noblesville.
Unfortunate for Noblesville, but Sir cannot see everything, and the beauty of rugby is
And Westfield's breaking away. Nice run. They have support.
We have an injury. Do not stop generally for injuries in rugby. The trainer will go out there. She'll step in there.
We are playing on.
We'll play on. As long as the injury does not prevent the ability to play on.
Westfield is driving.
18 to
Sammy, go!
They've called. Sir has called obstruction. Oh. So Sir has called obstruction, which is going to occur if the prevent a direct line to the tackler. In rugby, you cannot have blockers, and you cannot try to duck behind other players or anything like that to prevent somebody from tackling you. So it's called obstruction.
Forward, ladies!
Westfield is driving forward again.
Back 10! Get back! Back 10!
Another penalty. Noblesville has to get back 10. They committed that. When they have a penalty like when they have a quick kick penalty there, the non-violating team or the non-offending team has the ability or the option to quickly kick the ball and continue because rugby is a free flow.
Go.
Brent, blood sub. Yeah, we're calling for a sub.
There'll be a blood sub here. Blood sub in rugby is stops. The player does have 10 minutes to stop the blue
You might want to explain the jersey.
It looks like they switched numbers. For some reason they did. So we will restart with the penalty. So they're a little kick for post here. They'll go for post. They'll kick from the tee. If the conversion, if the kick is made, it will be worth 3 points instead of standard 2 that's scored after the dive. Set up here for the kick. If the kick is missed, it will be a live ball.
You good?
Back.
Good? What's you do?
I don't know.
Looks like they have bleeding control.
Pick it up! Run! Run! Run!
Nope, it's backwards. It's still good. Let's go.
Error there by Noblesville.
And that goes right back to what we were talking about at the half, where they might not, a little bit of looking, they're not quite sure how they need to react on that one, so they forgot for just a minute that was a live ball, and they weren't quite sure what to do. But their coach was making sure to let them know, so they did. I did not see the penalty call, did you?
I think it is just a scrum with a knock on.
All right, so we're going to scrum down again. It's been a lot of scrums tonight, and due to the wet, muddy conditions, it's very hard to grip that ball when it gets too wet and muddy, especially when you're dealing with 15 aside, lots of players, a lot of action. It's very easy to grip that ball. Again. Looks like we're looking for another player. Like a Patriot in the broadcast booth had to leave for just a moment, left to nope. And we're now Noblesville sending in a sub.
Very nice booth we have here, by the way.
It is.
Very open air. Indoor non-existent. The rain is let up, so that is good. Maybe that'll turn the tide a little bit for Noblesville for the second half.
I would like to see Noblesville get the ball wide, be able to get it down. And start right now, Westfield's in the scoring position. They're pretty close. Coming out of the scrum, they've won the scrum. They're starting to move the ball. Maybe throws it wide. Negative, spin around. Spin it again. Spin it wide. It's getting a little falling apart just a little bit. Noblesville doesn't have a lot of defenders there. And it was going to retry for Westfield. The tire penalty.
I believe it is a try.
Yes, it was another try for Westfield. So that's going to put our score at.
Missed the conversion, so that would be. So here's where testing my math skills.
While Colin counts on his fingers and toes to come up with the score, we'll see that it's setting up for the kick. It was kicked, again, as we mentioned earlier, we must kick straight out from where the ball was touched. And because it was touched down in the corner there, we'll just kick to the side. 32-0. Makes this conversion, it'll be 34. It doesn't look like it's got enough. It is 32-0 Westfield. Noblesville moving quickly. They're coming down with the ball to kick it back to them.
We're about 10 minutes past in the half at this point.
Looks like we have quite a few people out there watching.
Guys, look!
Got coaches from around the state watching this game. Hopefully enjoying the insightful and witty commentary that we are providing for this game to share the action. Oh, Westfield is moving again. Noblesville trying to get the stop. Powerful rush by Westfield.
Go back up!
Go back and go!
Hard to bring down these conditions. She's been tackled. The support is there. Westfield continued. This is not sure if it's a lot of people standing in the way. And you hear the penalty called. Colin, do you see the penalty? It was a knock-on.
Little.
One of the neat things about rugby is that we do employ technical zones. Keeps both match officials within certain areas and also teams within separated on different sides of the pitch. However, when conditions are such, there's tensions on the game and people wander into the technical zones, it's very fun to see. Westfield moving the ball, looks like a knock on. We'll scrum down to Noblesville. Colin, what can Noblesville do to get the pressure off of them? As again, they are deep in their own territory again.
Optimally here, is given the day that they've had so far, clearing kick would be best. However, that ball is still very slick, so there's a high
high chance or high risk of it going right off the side of the foot again.
Which we don't want to have happen after the last time we attempted that was a quick score from Westfield's 9. Well, there was another penalty. A knock on Noblesville this time.
Knock on and attempt to catch that ball for the kick. Plus a miscommunication between the fly half. Reach out with a scrum to Westfield. Fine scoring opportunity for both here. They go with 8 and pick.
Again, slippery ball, hard to pick up.
With that ball being so wet, it was knocked on there. So the turnover to Noblesville. A scrum to Noblesville right there on the 5-meter line. See if they opt to try for that kick again. It does look like Westfield's 9 has done a very good job of keeping the pressure on you by following the ball around the side of the scrum. And as soon as the ball comes out, hitting our scrum half pretty well.
You're fat. I got a mouthful.
That ball is it's just too slippery, Colin. Oh, looks like Noblesville's got a nice breakaway. Oh, and the ball is out. So they were able to drive Noblesville out, which is going to be a line out to Westfield. I was really hoping that was going to be a good move there. She got a nice breakaway, but Westfield was too quick to get there on defense and get them out.
Did look like a good scoring opportunity there on the breakaway, but Westfield countered very well for defense and were able to come to that space.
It's going to be real hard to break away in this mud. It is it's wet and slippery conditions out there tonight. They've really been battling it out, as we can see. This has been a far more physical game than I expected.
Oh, it looks like stolen by Noblesville.
Oh, nice. Noblesville's good rucks. And another penalty was called. What was called, Colin?
Up there, touch.
Oh,
it looks like she stepped out into touch on the other side there. Touch judge has the flag up. There'll be a throw put in by Westfield for the line out. Westfield opting for the 3-man pod. One by Westfield. That says play on.
Good. Nice job on Noblesville. The ball is out.
To the cycle. Looks like she's through. And the beat, she broke through the fullback going to try. There's just a quick math here, 37.
It's back there!
She's taking Lisa's spot. Lisa gets that tail.
So Noblesville and Westfield are playing some substitutions, bringing in some fresh legs here as we go through. Within rugby, and I'm not sure what the rules are at this level, but we do have limited subs.
Limited to 8. You can only sub up to 8 players. One of them must be a front row replacement. So the roster is capped at 26 players during league play. Was that good? Oh, was that good? Yes. So that takes us 39 to 0.
Readjusting a jersey here.
kick there. And the opportunity. Noblesville has one too many players on the pitch. Substitution is complete.
Second safety.
Was that off the foot? Okay, it would look like it was off. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
And I didn't even bring my glasses.
Westfield rolling again. Haley has been just supposed to be reckoned with this evening. She has had so many great runs.
Westfield already setting the pod for the next phase. And they go out to the backs. Straight down the line. And we have a knock on.
We have a knock again. Slippery ball. Dropping that forward.
I like how you guys are just giggling over there like girls.
So I've not been able to keep track of all of them, but it would look like the scrums have been fairly even on winning and losing. So
I don't think we've had any turnover yet. Maybe one turnover so far in all the scrums, or it was stolen by either the hook or a good push. In high school girls rugby, or in all high school rugby for Indiana, the push in the scrum is limited to 1.5 meters, so that's a little different from what you'll see at professional level, where they can push all the way down the field in that 16-man group. Drop ball went backwards, so we will play on. Next back to the game line, and it looks like we've been driven out of bounds to that far side, so we'll have another line out. Westfield will have the lineup as Noblesville players not involved in the lineup will back up 10 meters to the offside.
Caroline, jump! Caroline, jump!
Oh yeah, they're on the sideline. This is literally me never like during practice.
Westfield took that. They were able to get the line out. The ball is open on the ground. Westfield takes it. Noblesville doing a nice job of rushing there. And again, the slippery ball.
No, we should have a full-arm penalty. Not releasing by Westfield player on the ground. That is the call there.
So top call, when they get tackled, what's their obligation?
Go!
Say not releasing.
So once they are tackled, they must release the ball, especially once a ruck is formed. And if they slow down the ball,
Noblesville push bring it wide. Battling through. Now the trick here is to make sure that Noblesville maintains control as they go through. You see that she has released the ball on the ground, and as Megan is just driving through on that walk and regain control of the ball. Very nice physicality on both teams. Noblesville is really fighting it out, trying to get back control of that ball. Very hard to respond to the pressure of that. Too used to using just the colors of the team for as an official myself. Of course, as these teams continue to play in the mud, it's going to be hard to determine what color anybody's jerseys are. And thankfully, we are on laundry detail this week. So for whoever has to do the kick cleaning this week, we tip our hat to you. Girls will put the ball out. Nice run. Pass might be forward. Looks like it might have been forward.
Sir says play on, and we're in the touch. We've got about 23 minutes gone in the half, I believe. They're still making a substitution.
This is Westfield.
I can try.
Throw the ball.
Okay. Hey, Michaela.
The two sponsors come on behind me.
And again, for those watching at home, this tonight's broadcast has been brought to us by Logan Street Signs and Banners. You can find them online at www.loganstreetsigns.com. And it's another score by Megan, which puts Westfield up.
Another. 42-0 at this point, pending the kick.
Never done that before.
Looks like the ground got the bottom of her foot. That kick was not good. That leaves us at 42-0.
Me too. Yes, Maddie.
I would say tonight that the score certainly doesn't tell the tale of the effort. Both teams have fought out very tough, played tough all night in some pretty messy conditions. We've seen a lot of good rugby from both teams. Westfield has just put in a dominating performance tonight. And Megan has come through. Looks like we're going to catch her. She's fighting for the last part, and Megan scores another try for Westfield. 47-0. Pending the kick. 47-0 Westfield. They're going to kick. Up another 2-point conversion. As the water comes on for the scoring team. Right now I'm looking across the pitch at the social tent. In rugby we have a culture a little bit different than other sports where at the end of the matches we don't just shake hands and get in our cars and go home. Both teams will get together and share a bite to eat and congratulate each team on how well they've done, pick the best players in the match for both sides, and we call that the social. That's one of my favorite parts of rugby.
Because it involves food.
It's because it involves food. I like to be first in line. Sometimes I bring a jersey with me, even if I'm not playing, just so I can sneak in, especially when it's pizza.
It's just rugby. Who cares? Like on live TV.
While we're waiting for our kick, it's also helpful to remember our sponsors. I want to thank Noblesville Trophies for allowing this feed tonight. I know many people at home are enjoying this. I know at NoblesvilleTrophies.com they've got awards for pretty much you name it.
Noblesville's only current sponsor this year is Page Construction Services.
I recommend.
Great benefit to the club. And I don't know if you follow them on social media. I follow Page Construction on Facebook, and some of the work they've done on remodels is jaw-dropping. I know they've been featured in local magazines and home building magazines. Just a great group. I'd also like to add that both of their sons play rugby, and they're great players, and the Pages are very much a beloved member of our club. Their parents for all they do for Noblesville Rugby.
Instrumental in creating our parent board in the last year and stepping up into that, making this club a lot better than what it was when it was just you and a couple other Chuck.
I think we can safely say that current management is much better than the previous management, which was you and I.
Absolutely agree.
Westfield is driving the ball again. Still just showing their physicality and rucks, dominating, doing a great job of moving the ball around. I think almost everybody in Westfield's touched the ball tonight. And that's how it looks, like a knock there. I wasn't sure if it came off the foot or not.
I can definitely tell some of the Westfield girls have not been tackled because there are a few remaining very white jerseys that stand out in comparison to their counterparts.
It just means they're that good. All right. Nobody bringing it in.
Only a couple more minutes to go in the half.
So we're getting into another scrum down. We've had a lot of these this evening.
Mostly due to the weather conditions and the knock-ons.
Lots of knock-ons. Slippery ball, muddy conditions, makes it hard to throw, especially in the heavy rain, and then even harder to catch. So one thing I would like to see in our next match, keep those passes down a little lower. It looked like they were slipping off the fingers a little bit. It was preventing them from getting some of those nice wide passes that you'd want to see, getting that ball out. Kind of caused us to get a little physical and have to fight up the middle. And in that case, Westfield was well matched to deal with that. They pushed the ball again. They're number 9. And it looks like they're going to try for Westfield. That was, I believe that was a whistle. What sounded wrong? List. That was Darcy. Darcy and Jujinski. She's put in one heck of a performance tonight as well. And with the whistle called, that is the end of the match. Our final score is 52-0 Westfield. Thanks again for watching. Tonight's match is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. We appreciate them for broadcasting our game. We love the attention of rugby. We'd like to see you when we do our match against the varsity boys against Pendleton on the
24th of April. As a reminder that rugby is a spring and fall sport. We play 7s in the fall and 15s in the spring. We have second grade for clubs in most of your local areas.
Where can they find out about the Noblesville Rugby Club, Colin?
Noblesville Rugby is noblesvillerugby.com. And if you're not from the Noblesville area and looking for rugby in Indiana, the website is rugbyindiana.com. Look up your local club if you're interested in playing at any level. I'm sure there's a club for you. We have men's clubs, women's clubs, all the way down to second graders, flag clubs.
And I think this concludes our broadcast. And I'm going to go put on some dry socks.
And get a slice of pizza.
Social.
Thanks for watching.